Hi everyone, I'm bad at buttons, and we are starting a brand new island in Animal Crossing right now. I'm starting it on a second Switch, so I'm not deleting my old island, so I'll still be able to use that for videos. But I know a lot of people are just getting into the game now, so I wanted to be able to give you guys great tips for a beginner from somebody who has over 1,000 hours in the game. That's me. And I want to be able to do it on a beginner island, so you're seeing on my videos what you're seeing on your Switch, and you're not seeing like a completely finished island. So we're here with Timmy and Tommy, and they're going to get us set up on a new island. So we're going to say that it is our first time applying for one of their packages. If you are moving your save data from one Switch to another Switch, then you'll say I'm moving. But since we're starting a new island, we're saying it is our first time. So we're putting our name and our birthday in. These cannot be changed. So don't choose anything offensive because it's possible that somebody will report you to Nintendo and then you'll get in trouble. And you don't want to lose your island on accident. Don't choose anything offensive. If you're concerned about internet security, maybe don't use your real name. People will be able to see this in the game. So I'm choosing buttons because that's my online persona. And confirm. And I am okay with that. And then your birthday. So obviously they don't know your real birthday, so they don't know if you're lying or not. If you want to celebrate your in-game birthday on your real life birthday, then put in your real birthday. There is some birthday celebration items. If you don't want people to know your real birthday, because people will be able to see this on your passport, then don't choose your real birthday here. Me, I'm going to choose a day near my real birthday, so I still get those birthday items near my birthday, but not actually on my birthday. So when it's my birthday, I can spend it with loved ones instead of playing a video game. We'll do August, and we'll say the 4th. So taking a picture is creating your avatar, your character. This is something that you will be able to change. You'll be able to change every facet of it, including your style. So don't worry about which one you choose. And they start you with a random character here, and you can fine-tune it to your liking. There are limited options here, but you'll be able to unlock different options as you play the game. And as far as the gender goes, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets every hairstyle and the clothes look the same on everybody. So I don't even know if it has any real implications. So we chose everything we needed here. You should use the left and right, the little trigger buttons, or as my family calls them, finger buttons, to go between the things. And then you use the left stick and you press A to select. And then when you're all done, you press the confirm button. Again, you'll be able to completely change this once you get a mirror and you buy some new clothes. This will change so many times as you play the game, so don't sweat it too much right now. So you can choose an island in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere. And the seasons will be the same depending on which one you choose. So I live in the Northern Hemisphere. If I chose, and it's February right now, so if I chose the Northern Hemisphere island, then it would be winter here at my house, and it'd be winter on my island. If I chose the Southern Hemisphere island, it would be winter at my house, but summer on my island. So choose what you want. It doesn't make too much of a difference. I personally like to have it be the same, so that when I'm wearing sweaters in real life, I'm wearing sweaters in the game, and it feels nice like that. Animal Crossing is very unique in that it's real time. So when it's noon at my house, it's noon in my game, assuming my clock is synced up to the internet. So it's a very slow-paced, real-time game, and it feels nice to have that be in the same season. On the other hand, if you choose Southern Hemisphere and all your friends have a Northern Hemisphere island, then your island is unique and you might get more visitors because you'll have access to the summer items, the summer fish, the summer bugs, while they have access to the winter items and the winter fish and the winter bugs. So my island that I have already is a winter island, and I am actually going to choose a southern hemisphere island just so I can have access to the southern hemisphere, the southern summer items now as an option. So I live in North America, and they're going to recommend that I do a northern hemisphere island. But I'm going to choose a southern hemisphere island. I want to mix things up. It'll also feel like a nice summer vacation, even though it's winter and it's, you know, the pandemic, so we can't actually travel. So now we will pick an island layout, and there's a few things that I'll point out to you to look out for when you're choosing an island layout. So the first I want you to look at is where the airport is. The airport is going to be on the gray rectangle that's at the bottom of each map. That is where people will enter your island from when they come to visit you. The other thing to look out for is where resident services is. Resident services is the white leaf on the green background in the rectangle. So this map in the upper left is pretty far away. This one's really close. This one's way out to the left. Totally different. Those things cannot change. A few other things that cannot change is where the northern beach is. Well, none of the beaches can change, but the only one that really matters is where the northern beach is. So if you look here, the beach is in the upper right, and same for here. Whereas on these two islands, the beach is in the middle. The slight advantage to having it off to one side versus in the middle is that it will be accessible without a ladder. You can make it a little pathway to it behind without having to need a ladder. If you have it in the middle, you're pretty much going to have a ladder to get to it for the whole game, or you're going to have to put a staircase there. So again, it's totally your decision on which one you do. A few other things that can't change are the river mouths. So the rivers and the ponds you'll be able to put wherever you want to, but where they enter the beach is permanent. So you will not be able to change that. So on these three, the rivers are on the left and on the bottom, and on this one, both mouths are on the bottom. There are also islands available where the mouth is on the right and the bottom. So that cannot change. The pier, and all four of these, the pier is in the lower right. You'll see that little brown rectangle. Some fish are only accessible at the pier, and it's either going to be in the lower right or the lower left. And all of these, it's in the lower left. All the gray rock pieces are unable to change. So if you want to have a nice big cafe or something on a rock, then you're going to want to choose something with a big rock like this one in the upper left. All these other rocks are pretty small and you're not going to be able to do much with them. And the peninsula, all these islands have a peninsula. If they're pretty narrow, then there's not too much that you're going to be able to do with them. All of these are pretty narrow peninsulas. So where the rivers are, where the mountains are, so where it changes to lighter green, that's a mountain, that's up a cliff. So where all that is, you'll eventually be able to change that. So don't get too tied up on that. Just choose where you want your resident services and where you want your river mouths. And then if you're particular about where you want the northern beach or your pier or your rocks, make sure you choose all of that. So I'm going to choose this one, because I really like how the mountains are in two sections, even though I can change that eventually. And I like the big rock, and I like that Red's Beach is off to a side, and how far away the resident services is. If you don't like any of these options, that's okay. At this point, you can hit the home button and hit the X button and close out. And when you open the game, you'll have restarted, and then you'll get 4 new options. So you can do that as many times as you need to until you get the island that you want to. So this question is just for fun. It does not have any impact on the game. So I'm going to say a lamp because I like lighting. So now we're going to fly. When we get there, it will be summer because I chose a southern hemisphere island. And we will have, you'll see two animals that are not Chinookies or raccoons. There will be a male jock and a female sisterly animal. It's always a male jock and a female sisterly. You can get rid of these villagers relatively soon if you don't like them, so don't sweat it, especially if you have amiibos. You can get rid of them pretty soon. So they are not permanent. I'm going to skip this video. And so we're landing here. It looks like pear is my native fruit. We'll get into all of that later in this video. And it looks like we have an anteater and a ram. So now he's telling us to go to the plaza, and we're going to use the left stick to move. So we're here in the plaza, and we're going to talk to Tom. This is Tom Nook. He's in charge. It's Muffy and Antonio, and I'm Buttons. And first he's going to give us a tent, and we're going to place our tent, and then we're going to help our villagers place their tents. So we have to go to one of the little guys and get our tent. And we can place it anywhere we can get to. So he's going to give us our tent, and he's going to give us a map that we'll be able to see in our lower right corner. Stop moving, then the tent pops up, and you can see we can go anywhere on the lower left of the map. So anywhere, we can't cross rivers yet, so anywhere in this area. We can put it on the beach, we can put it in the grass. You can't put it here on the plaza. They won't let you ever put anything on the plaza. So we're gonna put it, let's see, right here looks nice. And then we'll help Antonio. So let's see, it's not covering anything yet, but let's see if it likes where that tree is. So you see that tree that was in the upper left is going away, and that's okay. We have plenty of trees, and we'll be able to plant more and move them around to where we want them. So it's not a huge deal if a tree gets deleted in this process. So Antonio was here, but I guess I scared him off with my tent placement. So I am holding down B to run, and it lets me move a bit faster. There he is, Antonio. So he can say, I can say this looks good to me, and then we'll imagine it and see if we like where it is. If we say we want it, we can say it looks great. If we say something looks off, then we'll be able to take his tent and place it where we want to. So for him, I'm going to say it looks great. And for Muffy, we're going to take her tent and place it where we want it. You'll be able to move their tents and houses as the game goes on. So don't sweat it too much. Alright, Muffy. We are going to say that we will find her a spot. And Muffy looks like she needs some time on the beach, so we're gonna give her a beachfront property. We can go right down here. I like how this little part of the beach sticks out. So I don't want it quite right there. I want to move it so it's up against this little cliff here. Perfect. So you can imagine it, or you can just say this is the spot, and I'm gonna go with it. So if you notice, there was 2 rectangles there. The top rectangle is where the actual footprint of the tent is, and that bottom rectangle is kind of the area in front of the tent where it's limited in what items you're going to be able to put there. So now it's going to transport us back to the plaza for us, and we will be assigned pickup stick duty and snack duty. So this is where we'll learn to pick up things and how to shake trees as the movements that are unlocked. They kind of ease us into all the different commands. So you pick up things by pressing Y, like this. So you see it says tree branch and it says Y pickup. And so you pick it up, and then we're also going to need some fruit. So we're going to shake some trees. And it says pear question mark because Tom Nook is still thinking about it and seeing if these are edible. Spoiler alert, they are edible. So we're going to pick up. So Animal Crossing is a grid. And you'll notice that like this tree and this weed are in the same column. And then these weeds and this tree are in the same column, or in the same row. So flowers, weeds, trees, rocks, and buildings, and when you can unlock terraforming and everything is strictly on the grid system. When you're placing an item, it can be on the half grid, so you can move it by a half square. So that's important to just kind of know to understand the game. When fruit falls from a tree, it falls right here, and right here. So if those spots are empty, that's where it will fall. If those spots are not empty, so let's say we'll pick up this weed and see if we can plant it right here. So now this spot right here is not open. So we shake this tree. That pear could not land here, so it bounced over here. If you had weeds all the way around with no room for fruit to land or to bounce, then the fruit won't fall from the tree. But if there's room for even one fruit to land, then that fruit will fall, and the rest of the fruit, if it does not have a landing zone, will despawn. So you really want to make sure that the area around your trees is clear. So that will be enough pears, I think. Just got to get a few more sticks. Okay, that's enough sticks, and it should be enough pears. These are rocks, and we'll get into those later. You have to have a shovel or an axe to really make good use of the rocks. So we're just worrying about our sticks and our fruit right now. So he'll take the 10 sticks he needs, and he's looking at the pears, and they look like pears. And we have enough pears, and so we're just going to give those to him now as well. So now we're going to name our island. Everyone will suggest a name for the island, but your name is guaranteed to be the one who wins. The island name can be 10 characters long, including spaces, and the name you choose is the name it is. It doesn't have like the word island after it, so like if you chose the name Button, it would not be Button Island, it would just be Button. So you should keep that in mind when you name it. So now they'll let you type in the island, and I'm going to call mine Button Isle. And because that would be 11 characters, if I put a space in there, then I am just going to make it one word with a capital I in the middle. So now everyone's going to shout their suggestions. and somehow they get to choose options that are more than 10 characters, but we can't. So now they're going to vote, and we will win, and it's unanimous. So now we're the resident representative. Again, if you're playing with small children, I would make sure that an adult is the resident representative. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over a few more things with you. So pears are our native fruit, as we know. There are a total of 5 fruits plus coconuts. Coconuts are kind of a fruit, but not as much of a fruit as the other fruits are. So the 5 fruits are pears, apples, cherries, peaches, and oranges. You will be able to get any kind of you'll get one other kind of fruit from Mystery Islands, and you'll get one other kind of fruit in a package from your mom. Your in-game mom will send you a few other fruits from your package. And those, so you can get 3 fruits without visiting anybody else's island. In order to get the other 2 fruits, you will have to have a Nintendo Online and go visit somebody else's island online, or you can do local visits if you know somebody else with a Switch that you can play with. But both people have to have the Switch and have a copy of the game to do that. This is resident services. We can't go in there right now, but this will be important later. This area here is the plaza, which you will never be able to set anything of your own onto. And then this thing right here is the bulletin board, where they will post information. There will be a little bird on top of it if there's a new notice, and you can post notices there too. The airport is down here, down south. So it's my green airport, and so everybody with a green airport has the same colors of items in their Nook Miles redemption program. Everyone with a blue airport has the same colors, etc. like that. So if you're looking for a specific color, you might say, I'm looking for somebody with a green airport who will trade me for these things. No building location except for resident services on the plaza is permanent. So it's expensive to move it. It costs $50,000 to move a building except for your house, which costs 30,000 bells. So it is expensive, but it is possible. And once you are playing the game for a while, that's not an insurmountable amount of money anymore. So I'm going to go to bed, and we'll wake up. I'm going to talk to Tom Nook, and then I'm going to bed. And then we'll wake up, and he'll give me the phone. And then we're going to call it for a day, and I will pick this back up tomorrow. So he's going to give me a cot, and there's going to be some things in my tent too. So we are going to my tent. We are going to place my cot down and go to sleep. And then we're going to wake up in the morning, or it'll be 1 p.m. when we wake up, and Tom Nook is going to give us a phone, and we are going to go from there. So this is the only time that they give you boxes that you have to open like this. But we have it looks like a gold lantern, and we can turn it on like that and give us some light in our tent. And we give us a radio. So you can turn on and off the radio by pressing A. And if you don't have the radio on or a different speaker system in here, then you're not going to be able to have any music. So you can see here it's really quiet in my tent. And we can turn it on, and there'll be some background music. So we'll place our cot. So I open my pockets with X, and then I'm placing it with A. We have a green cot, and we can move it by going up to it, holding A, and then moving the left stick. That's how we can move items. Once you get a house, you'll be able to do things in a more detailed way. So we'll go to sleep. This is the only day that's not in real time, and we wake up, it'll be about 1 p.m. And Tom Nook will give us a phone, and then we're going to call it for the day. So I'm going to pick this back up tomorrow at 2 p.m. on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/baditbuttons. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. on my Twitch channel, I'm going to be working on this island and giving beginner tips as a experienced player. So like I said, I haven't played on a beginner island for a long time, so I'm starting over on a new Switch so that we're kind of on the same page when I'm giving the tips out. So now he's going to give me a phone, and I'll show you a little bit of Nook Miles. So he's going to say that we owe almost 50,000 bells, but we have 0 bells. And then he's going to say that we can instead pay with Nook Miles. Yes, island time is the same as time in the real world, and that's don't touch the power button while it's saving. So you see that circle in the upper right? It's saving right now. So if we hit the ZL button, which is the big trigger button, we can go to the Nook Miles app, and I'll go through all the other maps on another day. So we get Nook Miles for completing activities, and then we can trade them in later. So just for starting the game, we get 500 miles, and we are 10% of the way there. So we can scroll through, we can click these and see what items there are to complete. And I'll go through these all tomorrow in detail. And you can use the right stick to scroll faster. And if you had, let's say that this one was ready to claim, and it's all the way down here, if you use the right stick, it'll jump right to that, which is really nice. So that is all I'm going to do for today. And I will pick this up again on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/baditbuttons. I'll link that in the description. And I will see you all there. Please bring your questions. I will go through them. I will help you out as best I can. Thank you guys for watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that really does help out my YouTube channel. And it doesn't cost you anything. So I will be doing a whole series. I'll be going through them on Twitch live. So if you have questions, that's the best way to answer them. Of course, I will monitor the comments and answer questions here as well. And then I'll edit them and put them up on YouTube as a kind of an organized series. So it might not be what I stream on Twitch is immediately what I put in the video. I'm going to try to have the YouTube videos be a little more organized so people who are searching YouTube for something specific can find it. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Save and end.